So hi and welcome to the Data Explorers Market Update with me, Will Duff Gordon. So last week the UK had its budget. I was actually away, but today we've been looking back over some of the things that were in that to have a quick look at the house builders. Now of course the UK economy is in okay shape, but it's not exactly in rosy shape, so clearly the Chancellor had to put a little bit of lipstick on this particular pig, and that came in the format of a few sort of concessions and bonuses thrown out to the support the house builders. The theory being that they're going to ease the planning process and make it more conducive for first-time buyers to get on the property ladder. But the first-time buyer thing is hardly the most generous in the world. £250 million has been put aside so that the government can lend up to 20% of the value to a first-time buyer who is buying a new build. So if you're still with me on this rather small amount for a very specific type of purchase, people then wanted to look at Bellway, because Bellway apparently sells a lot of new builds to first-time buyers, and yeah, sure enough, the short interest is pretty low in Bellway. It came down from 2.7% to 1.2%, then went back up to 2% at the head of the budget. So it's not high, but people thinking that this isn't actually such good news after all. Taylor Wimpey, its shares have doubled recently, and the shorts have been rising. They're not sort of hugely rising, but they've gone from almost close to 0 to 1.5%. Still below the indexed average. Interestingly though, institutional investors have have increased their stake in Taylor Wimpey by 30% recently, so they're pretty bullish on Taylor Wimpey. Persimmon is the one that has the highest short interest of the house builders. It's currently at 3.3%. And finally, Bovis Homes has come down from 4% to 2.5%. So it's not quite as simple as it sounds. The house builders themselves are somewhat worried that the planning, by moving from being a government decision to a local government decision, though the government describes that as easing, clearly they've built relationships with the government planning departments over many years, and they're somewhat nervous that they're going to struggle to get hold of and get permission as quickly from local governments. So they're not so sure this is a win-win situation for them. It remains to be seen how it works out and whether these first-time buyers snap up this £250 million fund aimed in their direction. That is all from me today. If you'd like to read the report, it is in its usual place at dataexplorers.com/news.